Welcome to my Kerbal Space Program Let's Play. I hope this is going to be fun and entertaining, and let's get started. Okay, so I'm going to start a new game, and then we're going to go campaign mode. Now, we need to choose a name. Derp Industries, maybe? No, Derp Industries isn't going to work. Derp Corp. Yes, Derp Corp. Derp Corp, we put the herp in the derp. Okay, and we need to choose a flag. I'm thinking one of these ones with Kerbal, because many Kerbal lives sacrificed for your gain. Derp Corp, we put the Kerbal in science. And by that, sometimes I mean literally. So, let's see, what should we name this? We should name this the Herp Jump. I was thinking the Herp Jumper, but it may not go more than once. So, Herp Jump. Pretty simple, we'll just start with a pod here. We just put on a little core here, and an engine, and a parachute, because we want them to come back alive. Because enough Kerbals will be sacrificed for science anyways. And we don't need an antenna on this one because, you know, we're gonna have all the data in the puke bags with everything else, probably. And since we don't have any decouplers, we're gonna have to go with blast staging. In other words, we're going to literally blow the last stage up off of the spacecraft. So we'll just stack a whole bunch of these in a row, and then hope for the best. When I said that the Kerbals were sacrificed for science, I meant Kerbals were sacrificed for science. Here at Derp Industries, we know every Kerbal life is valuable. It's valuable in science. Science points, that is. So we'll just make a whole bunch of stacks of these, and then we're gonna launch. I have a feeling this may just blow up on the launch pad, but we'll see. To add a little bit of stabilization, we're going to add another pod. And since, you know, we don't want to lose too many more Kerbals, we'll let it be an empty pod. But it'll just give us a little bit more stabilization. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start the staging here. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to set it up so that each stage blows off the next stage, or the previous stage. And I'm going to blow off the outer ones and then the center one, so that when we get up here to the top, we don't have a problem where it ends up going and just exploding the whole thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and fast forward while I go and set up all these stages, and then we'll go to launch and test the herp jump. So the basic theory here is we're booting up the outside rockets, and then we're going to wait and count to 5 or so, then we boot up the center rocket. What that does is that since we're blowing up the rockets behind each of them to stage, since we don't have any decouplers yet, that'll allow us to blow them up separately so that we can, you know, not blow up our entire rocket. And staging, okay, and then as you can see, that blew them up without blowing up the whole ship. And this is a pretty fun way to get to space. It's a little bit scary, and you can definitely screw up really bad doing it. If your timing's off, you're just going to blow up your whole ship, really. Or you'll be firing your rockets into the rocket below it, and it'll just give you no thrust at all. But as you can see, we're going up pretty good so far, and I'm just going to go ahead and do a little bit of science on the way up so that we have a little bit extra science points. And that was another stage, and I'm going to stage this one here in a moment. And I'm going to stage that one. There we go. And then we're getting ready for the next stage here. But right here I forgot, and I let those go. Really what I should have done is I should have let them go out, and then, you know, not blown it up wrong. But the flight's going perfectly fine. We're just going to pitch over a little bit. Just pitching over a little bit. And this will get us into a pretty good arc out a bit. And we throttle up all the way for the last blast stage. And we're about halfway through this solid rocket booster. Okay, and right about here we want to stage. So I'm going to start blasting. And that'll overheat. There we go. And now from here, it's pretty much free flying. I'm gonna go ahead and speed this up so that you don't have to watch me just floating through space for a long time and figuring things out. And as you can see, this is my orbit here. And I was considering going with setting up a bit of a circular orbit and circularizing my orbit and doing some orbiting and stuff. But I decided just to go up and come back down. We need the science points, really. And now, from the rocket herp jump, Jebediah Kerman will go on the first EVA. All of this possible by Dirkcorp. The future in Kerbin Space Enterprises and Exploration. And here goes the EVA. So, we're going to go ahead and push off from the spacecraft here in a moment. Once Jebediah pulls himself back together, he seems to be a little bit freaked out, clenching onto the airlock there. Okay, so we are going out a little bit here. And you can see his freaked out look on his face. It's either freaked out or amazed. Or he could just be looking at that beautiful moon. And I seem to be a little bit unable to find Kerbin, which could be part of what's freaking him out. I'm assuming Kerbin is straight down, but I did not look there. So, oh well, no Kerbin for us. However, it's about time to go ahead and make our report. We're going to make our report, and we're going to keep it because we don't have any antennas, and we don't want to be sending in the report for only 50% of the profit. So, we're going to go ahead and come back in for an approach here, which looks like a pretty solid approach. We don't want to miss this and go flying off into space, like that Deep Space movie that recently came out. Gravity, where you go flying off into the middle of nowhere. Essentially, Kerbal Space Program the movie. See it in theaters. Now, we successfully grabbed back onto the ship and got back inside. It's amazing considering how things horribly, horribly go wrong in Kerbal all the time. Okay, so this is my orbit, and I figured instead of normalizing it, I'd just go back in for a re-entry, and we sped up. And now we're about to re-enter. After I go into re-entry, after I finish getting through the atmosphere and I cool down, I'm going to start burning the thrusters to slow myself down to around 300 or so. Any more than that, I'm a little bit afraid that I might rip the chute. And you can see we're coming back in, and we're at a little bit of an angle, so I changed the SAS so that we were coming in vertically instead of at a weird angle like that. And we have a nice slow speed entering the water, so we're not going to blow up on hitting the water. And it's a nice gentle touchdown there. And I'm just going to go ahead and recover the vessel. And you can see we got 19.5 science points from this mission. It's a really good mission. And that'll get us started. That's all for now. We'll spend the science points in the next episode. And if you like the content, or if you just want to support me, remember those likes and subscribes really help out any channel on YouTube.